You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends, the Goldbergs, are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. There's Pa Dozen and Unky sitting on the back porch talking. Pa's saying,
You know, Unky, women are the limit. Always complaining about how hard they work. Cooking, cleaning, shopping.
Well, Pa, one thing Ma don't complain about anymore, and that's washing clothes. Well, not since she's using Does.
You're right, Unky. Us men ought to be thankful this new soap discovery came along. Why, Ma used to carry on about wash day something fierce. Now she brags about how wonderful it is to have Does do everything. Our work clothes and the towels to her prettiest rayon do-funnies.
Yeah. You remember the day I worked on the car and got my overalls so dirty? Oh, Ma was furious. Unky does them, she said. Look at that dirt. How you expect me to get them overalls clean?
Yep, she's sure tied into you.
Yeah, but now when she sees my greasy overalls, she just smiles and says, well, Does'll do 'em easy. Why, she doesn't even need a bar soap anymore, because Does gets rid of dirt all by itself. She says no soap does it easier.
That's right. Remember how Ma used to fuss at me for getting the towels so black?
Gosh, yes. She used to complain about a hard time she had getting 'em white. Now she tells all the neighbors how easy it is to turn 'em out snowy white with Does.
Yep. I heard her say she's never seen whiter washes.
Yeah, and remember how she hated to trust her old wash day soap with the pretty rayon doodads she washes?
Sure. Now Ma says those fancy colors are actually safer with Does. Yet it gets after dirt like nobody's business.
Yeah, Does sure changed Ma's tune about wash day. It's left her nothing to complain about.
well, Does does everything, you know. Why, it's the only leading granulated wash day soap that gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the dirtiest clothes. Better change to Does, D-U-Z. It does everything in your wash. And now the Goldbergs. Well, poor Molly has not only suffered a great disappointment in George and Grace, but she now believes that Birdie, the town loudspeaker, is spreading the whole story of how the two came to Lastenbury to swindle the Goldbergs and how Grace pretended to be Molly's daughter-in-law. When George confessed that he and Grace were married to Molly, Molly had made a heroic effort to give them both another chance. With George, it seemed to work. With Grace, it was a total failure. For Grace repaid kindness by running off with some town funds entrusted to her. George is with Grace now, and neither of them has been heard from since the train pulled out of the station. Molly, in her worry about paying back the money, almost forgot for a while that she must reveal to her neighbors the hoax played on her. Birdie's brother, Seymour, has offered to solve one problem, the money problem. And Birdie, in her whispering, gossiping way, may have solved the other. Listen.
Molly, I wish to see you.
I'm coming, Drake. I'm coming.
Mrs. Goldberg, speak to Mr. Goldberg. You're in graver trouble than you realize. Take my money and let me help you.
I'll be right down, Seymour, dear.
The very first time I saw that Grace, something inside of me said, she don't belong to this wonderful family.
I'll be right down, Seymour.
The biggest mistake you made, Mrs. Goldberg, was not to tell everyone that Grace was...
I'll be right down, excuse me.
The old badger game, that's what she pulled. Just a couple of crooks, Grace and George.
Papa wants you, Ma.
All right, I'm going up. What is Papa dear doing?
He's awfully upset,
He's
Ma.
upset?
You better go up.
I'm going. He's figuring.
Yes.
Figuring. Liabilities is figuring. And assets is figuring.
Ma.
Oh, I'm going. Papa's upset.
Yes, Ma. You better go
I'm
up.
going. Maybe, Rosalie, if I'll call Mrs. Bloom.
But-
Maybe I'll call Mrs. Bloom. Maybe I'll call Mrs. Malenka.
What good will it
What's
do, Ma?
today?
They
Monday.
go-
What's today? Monday, Tuesday. What's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday, Mrs. Malenka wouldn't be. She's in the air raid wardens taking a lesson. Mrs. Malenka, maybe Mrs. Seidenschneider.
Ma, it
if I'll
won't do
call.
any good.
Wait, maybe Mrs. Seidenschneider. I'll call. Today's Tuesday. Mrs. Seidenschneider, she's in the Red Cross. She wouldn't be also not Tuesday. Mrs. Bloom. Maybe I'll call long distance Mrs. Bloom. Huh?
Ma,
Get
Papa
me
wants-
long distance Mrs. Bloom. 317-664 something. Look
Ma.
it in the book. Huh?
Ma.
Mrs. Bloom.
You do it
Huh?
later. Papa wants you, Ma.
Late I'll have to call. She's in the clinic now. She's baking her leg anyway. All right, Rosalie, darling. Set the table. Maybe Papa
Yes,
will
Ma.
swallow a cup. I'm coming, Jake, dear. Rosalie, see who what? Yes, Ma. Hello?
Hello? Is Seymour there?
Yes.
Put him on, please.
It's for you, Seymour.
Who is it?
Birdie.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
Seymour?
Did you go to the bank?
Seymour, listen to me. All you got in the bank is $500.
Draw it out.
For what? What is the rush? Who are you investing it with?
Just get it, please.
Do you realize how many years it took you to save that money, Seymour? And besides, $100 of that is mine.
How is it yours?
I don't want to discuss it with you on the telephone.
Then
Seymour.
don't.
Seymour, don't let your impulses run away with you. Is Rosie Goldberg accepting you? Are you getting married?
Go to the bank. I'm waiting for you.
Your $500 is all the hope Mama has in the future, Seymour.
Birdie.
Listen to me. You were saving to go into a little business, Seymour.
Birdie.
Do you want to work for wages all your life?
Go to the bank.
If you need the money for what I think you do.
Seymour, my folks won't take your money.
Why not? Why not, Rosie? After all, what is money? What is it for? What's its value? This'll only be a loan. This is only my way of telling you how much you mean to me, Rosie. You're everything to me, Rosie.
Seymour, I wish you would...
I'm not pressing you for an answer, Rosie. Haven't I been patient?
Seymour,
You can't force love, Rosie. I know that.
Seymour,
If my undying devotion is causing you any...
Seymour,
I don't want you to pity me, Rosie, but...
Why should I pity you, Seymour? Someday you'll meet a lovely girl
There'll
and...
never be anybody but you, Rosie. I'll wait, even if it is hopeless. The love I have for you is enough to fill my life. But let me do things for you. That'll make me complete. Rosie, dear, if I kiss your hand, Rosie, you'd rather I didn't, huh?
Seymour,
Who's on the telephone?
Birdie.
She's going to the bank for the money.
Going to the bank. Seymour, darling, Mr. Goldberg can...
Mrs. Goldberg, please, if it's my desire to do a good deed...
Seymour, we don't think
You, of all people, you who knows the joy of giving.
Seymour, don't you...
I have the money in the bank, and what good is it doing there?
I said no, and no it'll be.
Mr. Goldberg, you just feel you don't want to be obliged to me. If you think I'll take advantage just because I'm your employee, I would
Seymour,
never...
dear, if we would need
Can't
it...
you just let me make up in some small measure the injury my sister Birdie has caused?
You are not responsible for your sister.
If every man is his brother's keeper, then...
A brother is a brother, and a sister is something else, and that's final. Just one request I'll make to you, Seymour.
Yes?
Tell your sister she's unwanted under my roof.
Jake, please.
And don't shake me, Molly. Anybody that can accept the hospitality of my house and carry tales.
Mr.
they go around
Goldberg
and
is
say-
right, Mrs. Goldberg. What she heard was of the most serious nature, and she...
Just as long as you understand, Seymour.
But why weren't you more cautious?
My words.
It just happened.
Who did she tell?
Everybody.
How did you find out?
We called your house, Seymour, and Birdie said, and that you said that she went to Mrs. Decker's house.
And then we called Mrs. Decker, and at Mrs. Decker's house, they said that she went to Mrs. Vermilion's house. We called everybody who made a contribution and whose money Grace and George took. My mother was going to call a meeting and tell everybody herself.
Now that'll be futile.
Very futile.
Believe me, when they say your friends you can pick, but your relatives...
Birdie?
Yes?
Jake, please.
How did you get here so quick? Did you go to the bank?
The bank was closed.
You never even went.
Birdie, I
Jake,
don't want...
please. Jake.
Excuse me.
Seymour, I'm your sister. And as a sister, I'm asking you, what do you need $572 for? Are you getting married or something?
Birdie, when you left the house, where did you go?
What do you mean, where did I go?
Just what I'm saying, where did you go?
Where I had to go.
And that was?
What business is it of yours where I went? What do you need the $572 for?
Did you go to Mrs. Decker's?
What do you need the $572 for?
After you left Mrs. Decker's, did you go to Mary Foot?
The government asks that you don't spend unnecessarily, Seymour.
After you went to Mary Foot's, did you go to Mrs. Vermilion's?
What's this? The third degree?
I wish there was a prison sentence for gossiping.
What are you talking about?
You know very well what I'm talking about.
There was always an impediment in your speech, Seymour, but at least you were coherent. Are you out of your mind or something?
You went out and told everybody that Grace and George ran off with the money.
What?
You went out and told everybody that Grace wasn't my mother's daughter-in-law.
What?
Don't play the innocent nymph, Birdie.
Just a minute. If I'm being accused of anything, I want to know the nature of my accusation.
You overheard something, Birdie.
Of course I did. I have ears.
Big ones.
I resent that, Seymour.
Don't play the injured party, please.
Very well, Mr. District Attorney Seymour Fingerhood. What am I being accused of?
Birdie, you should have at least
What
had...
could I do? Stop my ear?
But you didn't have to go around telling everybody, especially
Who did
a
I
thing.
tell?
Mrs.
Decker.
Decker
Didn't you go to Mrs. Decker?
Yes, but...
Mary Ford.
Didn't you go to Mary Foote?
Yes, but...
And Mrs. Vermillion.
Since when do I have to give an accounting of where I go for my business?
What business?
Can I use your telephone?
After you went to Mrs. Vermillion, where did you go?
Mrs. Decker, please.
Let it go, Birdie, please.
Oh, no. If I'm being accused, I want to know why. If I'm being ostracized, I want to know the reason. Hello, Mrs. Decker? This is Birdie Schlissel. Mrs. Goldberg is right here, and I want you to tell her if I said anything to you about Grace and George.
Birdie.
Did I tell you that Grace was not Mrs. Goldberg's daughter-in-law?
Birdie.
Please. Did I tell you that they got away with all the money, Grace and George, all the money for the delinquent
Birdie.
and that
Birdie.
George was not...
Birdie,
and
Birdie.
Grace's husband?
Birdie, give me
Did
the
I
telephone.
tell you that Grace was not Mrs. Goldberg?
Well, the one secret that Birdie ever kept has to be the one she's accused of not keeping. And now the news is really out, and all that Molly imagined will surely happen. You know, sometimes it helps to try and forget our troubles and find something to laugh about. That's why I like that flutterhead Cousin Does'em. She always gives me a laugh. Take yesterday. Cousin Does'em said...
Look, I bought a new hat, and I owe it all to Duz.
To Does?
Uh-huh. I went to the store to get some Duz, and I saw this perfectly adorable hat in the shop next door, and I bought it.
Oh.
So, you see, Duz really does everything.
Well, does everything in the wash. Why, this new kind of soap does work clothes, towels, to rayon undies. Honestly, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does gives longer life to the delicate colors you wash, plus unsurpassed whiteness for towels and real cleaning power for grimy work shirts. Even in the toughest wash, Does does everything. And remember, these are wartime wash days. Don't waste Does. All soaps contain vital war materials, so save your dirty clothes and wash several loads in the same Does suds. See to it every bit of Does you use does more. Be sure to listen to the next episode of the Goldbergs. Wildfire rumor spreads through Lastenbury, and Molly feels the whole town shake about her head. This is Clayton Collier speaking and reminding you to do as the Dozems do. Let Does, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.